Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, my dear students. This is your English teacher from At-Tamayiz School. Inshallah, in this video, we're going to study Unit 9, which is about money. In this video, inshallah, we are going to study Lesson 6 from your workbook. So let's get started. More specifically, in this video, you have to practice to answer some exercises about models, as we studied models like must, have to, has to, should, and so on. Can and could, of course, these are called models. Also, we have to practice about some language functions, how to apologize, how to give directions, and so on. These are called language functions. So, before we start, let's discuss this question first. If I ask you like this, if you want to pay for things, what ways do you think of doing that? We previously studied methods of payment or ways of payment. As you can see in the picture, we can pay for things using, yes, exactly, cash. We can use payment cards or credit cards. We can use also checks. The main ways for paying or ways of payment, as we say. Okay, so these are called ways of pay. Please open your workbook, page 66. We have to practice more about models. Here we have to answer some exercise. We have to choose the correct verbs in these sentences from A to J. Okay, from A to J. So let's start with the first one. Who can read first? Yes, he earns a lot of money, but he has to or must or should work 10 hours a day. He earns a lot of money, but he has to, must, should work 10 hours a day. Is it a piece of advice? If we use should, it means I'm giving advice or I feel strongly about something. So the option should is not true. So you have to choose, yes, exactly. He has to. It is necessary for him to do something, so he has to work 10 hours a day. Okay, so this is an example for the first one. Take your time to answer this exercise from A to J. Okay, I'm back. Let's check the answers together. The first one. I don't have to, I mustn't, I shouldn't forget to pay him the money I owe him. Which one is true? I don't have to, I mustn't, I shouldn't forget to pay him the money I owe him. Who can tell me? Yes, exactly. I mustn't forget. I mustn't forget. I'm reminding myself, so I say I mustn't forget. B. I haven't got any money left. I haven't got any money left. So I have to, or I must, or I should go to the bank before it closes. I should go to the bank, or I must go to the bank, or I have to go to the bank. Yes, exactly. I should go to the bank. Okay, it's better for me to go to the bank before it closes. C. Students don't have to, mustn't, shouldn't pay for their books. They are free. It is not necessary for them to pay for their books. So excellent. They don't have to pay for their books. If something is not necessary to do, so you don't have to do that. Sentence D. You use his mobile phone without asking. It's wrong. Something is wrong. You don't have to, you mustn't, or you shouldn't. It's not a law, by the way, but it's not a good idea to use his mobile phone without asking. So yes, you shouldn't. It's not a good idea to do something, so you shouldn't. E. You never have any money. You save some every week. It's a good idea for you to save some money every week, so you should I am giving you a piece of advice. You should save money. Sentence F. Children don't have to or mustn't or shouldn't borrow money from each other. Children borrow money from each other. So children, yes, it's not a good idea for children, young kids, to borrow money from each other, so they shouldn't borrow money. Sentence G. I have a holiday job now, so my parents give me any money. I have a job, it means I have some money, so my parents don't, yes, they don't have to give me money. It's not necessary to give money for me. Sentence H. The essay is due on Monday and it has to, or it must, or it should be under 2,000 words, or it will not be marked. Here we are talking about something that should be done, or it's necessary to be done, so it must be under, it's like a rule. It's like a rule given by the doctor or by the teacher, so the essay must be under 2,000 words. The last two sentences here, sentence I. The football team do extra training, but it will help improve their performance. So they don't have to, or they mustn't, or they shouldn't. I say it's not necessary to do something, but it will help. So it don't, the answer is don't have to. The football team don't have to do extra training. Sentence J. If you are traveling by air, you always carry your passport. If you are traveling by air, it's a law, so you must. The law of traveling that you must carry your passport. So this is a revision for modals as we studied before. Next exercise, still we are practicing about modals. We have to use the correct form of be able to, can, can't, must, and mustn't to complete this article. Again, complete this paragraph with the correct form. So you have to correct, not just use be able to. It can be is, can be are, was, and where, and so on. Can, can't, must, and mustn't. Take your time. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, let's start with number 1. Let's read together. Every year, Omar collects some money for Eid al-Adha so that he would, it means we cannot use another model after would. I cannot say would can, would could, or would must, or would mustn't. So you have to use would be able to. He would be able to buy gifts. However, in the middle of the third line, however, this year, this is a little bit different. Omar put any money aside because he has spent a large amount to buy the most recent PlayStation. So it's important, it is necessary for him. So we are talking about something in the past. He spent a large amount of money, so we use a past model like couldn't. He couldn't put any money aside. Why? Because he has spent a large amount of money. Number 3, he be feeling very bad for being so selfish. So I'm sure he is sure about something, so he must be feeling bad. He must be feeling bad. Number 4, he have waited a little longer to buy PlayStation, at least until Eid al-Adha was over. So he could have waited. He could have waited, something that was possible in the past. He could have waited a little longer until Eid al-Adha was over. Sentence number 5. He turned back in time now. Turn back in time now. Be careful. Here we have now, and change what has done or what he has done. So he can't turn back in time. He can't do something back. Sentence number 6, but he do something about it. But he, of course, he must do something about it. Why? Because this holiday means a lot to him. Next, at this stage, Omar decides to work at his friend's restaurant at the weekend. That's the only chance for him to, yes, to be able to fix the problem. The only chance for him to be able to fix the problem. He is aware, number 8, he is aware that he spent any of the money he earns at the restaurant. Of course, he mustn't spend any of the money he earns at the hospital, at the restaurant. Okay, the weekend is over, and unfortunately, Omar couldn't collect all the money he needs. Omar couldn't collect all the money he needs. He is very disappointed for not being able to do so. He is disappointed for what? For not being able to do so. Next, this is when he decides to sell his PlayStation, he feels sorry. He mustn't feel sorry about selling it. Why? Because Eid al-Adha is a symbol of sacrifice. So what is the sacrifice? Which is selling the PlayStation. So he mustn't feel sorry for that because it's just a symbol of sacrifice. Next, Omar believes in this strongly and thinks that this is the least he can do for his beloved ones. This is the least he can do for his beloved ones. This was page 66. Now, please open page 67. We have here some a dialogue that we call a dialogue about the value of time and money. We have some expressions. We have to complete this dialogue with these expressions. What are these expressions? Let's read together. Yes. Do you think, consider, I believe, in my opinion, do you agree, I think that, difficult to interact, hard to imagine, easy to interact, I don't know about that. These are the expressions that you have to use to complete the dialogue. Take your time. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, let's answer the first one. Let's read this dialogue together and complete the following. Time is money. With this proverb, it's a question. I mean, yes, exactly. Do you agree with this proverb? Time is money. Do you agree? Well, it's true. It means I think it's true or something like that. So I believe that exactly. I believe that it's true. Well, I believe that it's true. 3, time is very precious and that we should make use of every minute of our life. So which one? It's not a question, by the way, it's a statement. So you cannot say, do you think, or something like that, or do you agree? It's just a statement. So I can say, I think that time is very precious. Next, I also yes, consider money. I consider money. Means I think that money means the same like think. I consider money an important idea in this proverb. Next, number 5. So it's a question, by the way. Be careful. So that money is as precious as time. Yes. Do you think that money is as precious as time? Number 6, it's the world without money. It's the world without money. And in my opinion, it's hard to imagine. Yes, it's hard to imagine the world without money. So in my opinion, it's hard to imagine the world without money. Number 8. I find it, we have to use an adjective. Where are the adjective here? We can use difficult or easy. That's only the two options left about adjectives. So is it difficult to interact with people, or is it easy to interact with people? Let's complete to know. Interact with people if we have nothing to offer them in return. So of course it's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to interact with people if we have nothing to offer. Okay. Next, number 9. But for sure it is with people who, of course, here in number 10 we have to use an adjective also, with people who do not value money as much as time. So in number 9 we use I don't know about that. Means I have no idea about that. It's easy to interact with people who do not value money as much as time. Next exercise, exercise 5, we have to complete the sentences with an adjective and the correct form of a verb. We have some adjectives like difficult, easy, hard, impossible, and lucky. We have also some verbs like be, do, lift, understand, and wake up. Take your time to finish an answer, to find an answer to this exercise, and I will be back in a minute. Okay, the first one, the accident was quite serious. He, too, alive. Of course, he is difficult, he is easy, he is hard, he is impossible, or he is lucky. Yes, he is lucky to alive, to be alive. Yeah, that's right. So the accident was serious, so he's lucky to be alive. Number or letter B, it isn't to if you are very tired. It isn't to if you are very tired. So it is easy, or it is difficult, or it is hard. Of course, it is not. It is not. It isn't easy to wake up if you are very tired. Sentence C. I found my homework, or my English homework, without help. Of course, it's difficult to understand. I found my English homework difficult to understand without help. Sentence D. It's too heavy objects. Heavy, if you have this adjective heavy, so you have to use the verb lift. So it's harder to lift. Lift means to carry. So it is hard to lift heavy objects. That's the end of our video. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in other videos, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.